một hai dù chỉ nữa cái nào thì mới bỏ tay bỏ thì cái cầm cái này bữa nay để lại cái bỏ một cái này kia con này có gì tặng túi lại quý được bà đây này có áo này có cái bọc cái áo này có phải bọc cái áo vô mày quá nãy giờ chị có biết có là em để làm gì theo tự cảm thấy được rồi đó biết đi nhận lo cũng có ý là về biết sự quan trọng nó sẽ là đâu nhá sinh viên thì tầm giáo sư đi học không biết thì này có biết cả giáo sư ra mà cho nó được học không một chuột này nãy nó lại sẵn tôi tham gia rồi chứ rồi đợi em tí em để lại đi đâu ủa này là 8 phim không có khổ cô là mấy 4 năm người làm cho em 4 người đến đâu rồi 4 năm người chắc là cái việc là mặc cái này thôi chụp để có một kiếm tới nữa em làm rồi rồi sai cái này gì em cái USB của cái máy đây nha thì thấy không cái này là em ta sẽ phòng cho mang quên cái này nó có đang cái đó được chẳng hạn không có được dân tình sẽ tiền của hai là điều kiện đây nó bằng sẽ tối rồi nói về công tô là sao thì ngành này là có vấn đề đâu một là 45 hai là 45 thôi không nghĩ là phải bà được tôi nói đây đi đây mà mình theo đúng lịch của trường nào sai để thầy để đến được thầy hiện tại là như thầy đúng rồi chịu nó cứng mà đại cứng lao cứng đại cứng có thấy từ lại có ngày mai thôi. Cái buồn đấy, ngày thôi thì tao nó cái khác. Còn mới phát rồi cái đứa có thể không có cháy đâu, chúng nó chắc chắn là phải có thể. Thì có một ngày 18 người khác đấy đánh cô 9 giờ phải đầu tiên tức là chỉ về ra thì là ngày đầu thôi. 9 giờ này là ngày đầu với ngày 6 ngày đầu với ngày 19 ngày 20 cuối năm.
Bây giờ đi tắt nghiệp rồi đó.
Trong ngày 19 đó
Lửa ăn uống mới tắt nghiệp, còn bây giờ tắt nghiệp rồi. Ở chút xíu nữa có thầy vô luôn.
Giờ đây
Giờ 12 cũng ngồi là
rồi các tóc nó bắt này ông bay về thành phố
đó. Chụp sao mà có cái em đứng ngay cái ghế là
phải ngồi đấy chụp đây
chụp dây không hết đâu. Bây giờ mình chụp một phía một giờ dậy phía trước ngồi
đúng chụp panorama đi.
Mẹ thì sao vậy?
Rồi có trong mạng
Có em chụp panorama.
quy trình đó là đánh máy
Thầy máy trước rồi không? Biết rồi.
Tức là đọc ký là không cần phải đọc gì hết.
chỉ cần với cái bạn bây giờ cái ký là đại bộ nhà rồi ký
Còn làm thì tuyên rồi lên con đẹp hai đẹp.
ai khẳng định rằng đã là đúng như vậy.
Tuy là nó hơi ngắn chút nhưng mà đẹp lắm. Thầy An Nam
sáng cô trước cho đi rồi
Rồi em chụp thì mới lên mạng được này. Thầy Vương chụp được cái kho.
kho
Các tiến sĩ rất là chăm chú. Tôi nghe với thầy một Pokemon đi chơi. Bắt Pokemon là gì đây?
buổi sáng là chăm chú là đọc báo. Bây giờ là có buổi này.
Đây.
đi chiều nó quen chiều là stick
Đây. Em về đây.
chơi và thành lập luôn cái hội kiếm luôn ha.
Chưa để hội mục đích là nó muốn Hello, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So how are you doing? Yeah, good. See you again. No, that's the million people. Yeah. Okay, good morning. Good morning, good morning. I see you. Yeah. So good. So you got yourself with a kit, right? So we have a couple of things. Later, Edwin will pass you a piece of paper where you have to write your full name, how you want the name to be written on the cert. Okay? Because some of you have Christian name. So I don't know. So how you want it to be written on the certificate, you give it to Edwin. So then Edwin will write it in the certificate. So that's just to make sure. Okay?
Biết có dấu luôn, về thôi Việt Nam mà.
So the notes, you will get the notes very soon. My staff is printing the notes. Okay, so for those of you who want to see here, you can also see there. Okay, so this actually we are working out a classroom, like a flipped classroom. Okay, but some or other the table didn't match. That's why you put in the table, you see sideways, right? It's supposed to be, in a circle. Yeah, in a circle. So we are just developing the classroom for flip. And Dr. Lian, do you think they need translation? If they need, then no need, huh? Okay, good. Okay. Okay. So let me know if you need translation. So Dr. Lian, my friend, is here. He can help to do the translation. Now, let me just go through the objective of this workshop. The Malaysian University of Science and Technology, this university, we are growing our postgraduate studies to several countries. Okay. Indeed, tomorrow I'll be flying tonight I'm flying to Sri Lanka. Okay, and then, but one day only, tonight I go, tomorrow I am there, then day after tomorrow I come back for the class. Okay, so, yeah, no choice, I got no choice. So we are already growing. So we are going to Sri Lanka, we are going to Myanmar, and we are opening our own university in Bangladesh. Okay. So as we are growing, our PhD student number is growing. Okay, and in Vietnam also the PhD student number is growing. Okay, today we have got 5, but I think maybe down the road, by another 2 months, I think we will have about 15 students from PhD program. There are 4, there are pilots going to sign up for the PhD program, jet pilots and so on. So as we grow the student number for PhD in Vietnam, then we need co-supervisors. Co-supervisors. The main supervisor will be the university supervisor. So we need co-supervisors to help. Okay, so that's where those of you who finish this workshop, you will be given a letter that you are appointed as the adjunct in the university for the purpose of supervision. Okay, so then that will help you through the supervision process. Okay, so that is the discussion that I had with Dr. Luyen, and I really wanted to limit the class not more than 12. Okay, because we don't want to just simply offer this to everyone, and this is the closed session. So we won't be organizing. I don't think so. In another 1 year, we'll organize any more session like this. We don't want. The next one we want to organize is for Myanmar, and then for Sri Lanka, and then for Bangladesh. So Vietnam, this is the one I think. Okay, so I want you to ask me as much as question that you have in your mind, and I will tell you what are the things that we need to do and so how we are going to work it out. Okay. So this training workshop is for 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. On the 19th, we all will go for a seafood dinner out there. It's a very nice place, just beside our university. Walking just beside there. So we go for a seafood dinner. And then the 20th, we will finish our class. Let us look at the agenda that we have. Look at the agenda that we have. Okay. So you have the agenda with you, right? If you look at the agenda, you want to off? If you find it's very cold and all, you want to off, you please go ahead, you can off, no issue. And okay. So the coffee, tea, I don't know where they prepare the coffee and tea. It's over there. So this is not a workshop for student. So this is not a workshop for student, this is for supervisor. So the first session I'll be taking, I'll be introducing to you what is the goals, what we intend to do in this workshop. And the session 1 is getting the dissertation mindset. Every university has their own process of how to look into PhD. Okay? For this university, we follow the MIT. I think you all know this university was started with MIT. This is an MIT university, so we started off with MIT. So we follow the MIT model. Okay, 100% we follow MIT model. So we don't follow like other universities, like in Philippines they have 4 chapters. No, we follow 5 chapters. Okay, this is MIT model. So I want to introduce to you the MIT model I'm working on. Okay, and the second session in the afternoon, I'll be talking to you how to prepare students for research proposal. How to prepare students. Normally students will have difficulties. So I'll propose to you, I'll tell you how to get students to write a proposal defense. And I will share with you some samples of proposal defense so you can follow through that. And then I will give you a template. I'll give you a template where you just have to ask the students to fill in the blank. Fill in the blank only for proposal defense. Okay? So we want a very standard way of doing. Because when your student in Vietnam, when you supervise and they come for defense, they should get through. They should not fail because of the technical aspect. So I'll guide you. I'll tell you, this is the template. Just ask them to fill out the template. Okay. So that is for today. That's what we're going to look at. And then on the tomorrow, August 18th. Now, I have called in this Professor Suaiza. Professor Suaiza is from University Malaya. A very senior professor, but young, but senior in terms of research. Her publications are, in University Malaya, she is the best in publication. Research publication, she is the best. I think she has supervised more, I don't know, maybe 30 or students. She has supervised PhD. She is really very good. So I've called her to give her talk to you. Okay? And her talk is student supervision, a hands-on approach. Not theory, how she supervises a student, hands-on. So that is Prof. Suaiza. And then the second session for tomorrow is very interesting. All this while we have been using SPSS, right? There's one more tool in quantitative method, statistical analysis. Have you ever come across that? Other than SPSS, what do you use in Vietnam? Other than SPSS? MOS and?
In the finance field,
Data. PLS, have you heard about it?
PLS.
Now, PLS is now new and coming very, very strong. ISI journal, Scopus journal. Now they all want PLS. So if you want your paper to go into ISI journal, Scopus journal, you need to have PLS. And PLS is very, very easy. Very easy. Not like SPSS. Very easy. You just need to have the framework. Your theoretical framework. You put the theoretical framework, you drag, it will show you what to do. And it will give you all the Cronbach alpha, everything given to you. You don't need to go and then calculate this and that, nothing doing. So I got one expert who is now with us, who has just joined us this month. And this guy is an expert in PLS. He's very good and he has got very strong publication. He's a student, my student. He's finished his PhD and he's doing doctoral, postdoctoral PhD with me. I mean, after PhD, they come and work for me. So he's with me. So he will take you through the session, hands-on session inside the lab, computer lab. He'll take you inside the computer lab and you all will have a hands-on with it. So we don't want to just talk, we want to make sure you also know what you're doing. And for your student, it's very easy. PLS software, you can download 1 month free. 1 month free. So he will teach you how to download the software 1 month free. After that, you use another email ID, you can use for another 1 month free. Okay? So he will teach you. So this is very, normally we don't do all these things to other faculty. This is very, that's why I say, this is, I told Dr. Rian, this is a closed loop, very confidential things we are going to share with you. We'll take you to the lab and then we ask you to hands-on. Just do hands-on. Okay? So that is the second day on August 18th. And then on the 19th, we have a sequencing the activities, task, supervision of students. Now, every university, they have their own process and procedures for students. They have their own forms. Student PhD form, application form. Then PhD proposal readiness form. Supervisor progress report form. Right? So, we have Dr. Reza, Muhammad Reza. He is the Dean for Postgraduate School in this university. Postgraduate Studies is the Dean. So he will take you through the session. He will introduce to you all the forms and he will tell you how to fill up the forms. So that next time when you supervise them, they give you the form, you know what to do. Okay? So Dr. Reza will take you through on the 19th, half a day session. Then I will come in, the second session. I will talk to you about literature review, which is very crucial, which I find that most of the students, I think almost about 80% of students are not good in writing literature review. They just write literature review like storytelling. That is not critical. They're just writing story. So I'll take you through hands-on with example of how to write literature review. Okay? And on the 20th, the whole day I will take you through. That's the last day. I will summarize how to write discussion, good discussion, how to put your results together. And then we will talk about the format for international students or submission of your final thesis. What is the format of submission? Again, I'll give you a template. You just have to fill out the template for your student. Okay? So that is how we have scheduled our agenda, okay, for this workshop. Do you have any questions? Any questions you have? Okay, no? Okay, good. Just give me 1 minute.
Thầy nhắc rất nhiều lần là cái hội tiếng anh.
Thì đúng tự quan điểm của thầy mà. Em theo quan điểm của hiệu trưởng mà chứ đâu là mà nói chung là vì không biết đâu. Anh em mình là may mắn đó.
Cái này nói rất là nữa quá rất nhiều rồi.
Video cái buồn
Hôm vừa rồi á, Thúy nên nói với mọi người nghe có ổn không? Hôm vừa rồi không đi á, có nói với lại thầy thì ra là thì rằng là không chơi với bạn nên những việc phải nói lại là cái chuyện này là làm cái gì? Nó không nói là mình không bị suy ở trên thì nó là khi bạn được việc xong cái thì của em mắt cho nên là nó vào lại sơ sinh để xem làm một số để xem làm cái luật sơ nhưng mà sơ là giảm cái điều này nhưng mà chưa có kết quả bây giờ thì nó kết quả từ lần này qua để bảo vệ thầy nói là mong là thành công thì chúng ta cái hoạt động của chương này là việc được tận mạnh mong là mọi người có nói là việc xấu này ra cái đồ cái sơ
Đúng rồi.
Nam có biết vì sao không? Vì Nam quen với Thắng mà Thắng thì rất là ok chị nên là hôm vừa rồi khi chị đi chị có nói Thắng là làm một số việc với chị thì dù sao thì cũng là lãnh đạo khoa cho nên Thắng hỗ trợ cho chị cũng nhiều thành ra là cứ đi rồi chúng ta nói như vậy tức là đã apply hồ sơ cách đây 2 năm thì nó cũng đi
Và trong cái chuyện đó mình cũng đã có rất nhiều tiền đó đã gửi những đi kiếm trong mấy năm rồi.
rồi đã làm rồi bây giờ là họ có kết quả rồi mình bảo vệ để bảo vệ thành công được này thì mình sẽ được
Thị trường nó sẽ
xây trường
đấy
thì
thì
đó là cái thông tin mà anh đã công bố một trường vậy tại vì khi về trình là không thể bạn đi mất lợi trình thì không được ý nghĩa
Nó làm ra thì mọi người đều nắm thông tin như vậy chúng ta biết như vậy thứ nhất là biết là để đồng hồ nó quý
nó phải nghĩ cái đó
ra là họ rất là happy khi nghe việc như vậy vì cũng có nói trường này đã liên kết với MIT cho nên là cũng không phải là trường rất là tốt cho nên là xin apply hồ sơ để làm việc này
nên là sau này chắc là những người được hạn chế nhưng mà chúng ta không cần thiết không có đúng là nó sử dụng trong cái công việc của người ta nên là việc tốt ghép nhau thì là
báo chí nó đăng nữa đó
bảo là chụp lại
khai thác
mình sử dụng và cái này là như thầy nói anh em này thì cũng mở một cái thế là nó một mắt nhất qua bằng nước khác
thầy nói nhà không có tôi mỗi lần cho nó từ lấy nó uống cốc đôi cũng phải là uống ly thôi ok
hai người thầy
cái gì chín rồi
thầy cũng nó mong cái nhóm là cũng hỗ trợ cho trường đó vì do là nước
Lâm
đó 15 người đã đăng ký tiến sĩ rồi nên là hỗ trợ
không bên đây nó thì
không cái số cái chương trình là theo là
những sinh mà ở Việt Nam đó
thì mình là cái bộ phim ở đồng giáo sư đã có kịp á làm sao để nó sẽ phát triển các loại việc đúng là nó có những cái đầu mối mà nó tự nhiên không sao nó sẽ qua
bữa nay về cân nhắc cái phần này sẽ nói nha PLS cái từ đấy là phương án chuẩn này
đúng rồi bữa nào mình sẽ trao đổi
anh nghe cái này rồi mà cũng có xem qua nhau Việt Nam chưa xài nó cũng là một cái giải công thức rất tốt nhưng mà nó chạy hơn cái giải so với
bữa nào mình làm một số cái tỉnh nào đó rồi mình sẽ trao đổi được PLS PLS là chưa có
B phở cái nào cái
Is it on? Yeah, it's on. So now let's go on to what we are going to have. Nurul is going to bring you the notes for you. So meanwhile, let's just quickly go through it. Now, what are we trying to achieve from this workshop? Okay. The first one is we want to bring together business researchers from different faculties. Some of you may be from social science faculty. Some of you may be coming from, English language faculty, and some of you may be with some engineering background faculty. So we want to bring all these faculties together and have a cross-discipline approach for research. Because today's world is cross-discipline. If you are cross-discipline, it works very well. If you just want to do a research only on business alone, it is not really that sounds well. So you need to have cross-discipline together. I give an example. Last week we tie up with the Malaysian agency, government agency called Land and Public Transport Commission. Very high authority. Report to the Prime Minister. Land and Public Transport Commission. Very strong. They are actually engineering based. They are engineering based. But we are business based. So what we are doing now, in our school, we have got a faculty for transport and logistics. But that transport is private transport, like trucks, air freight, sea freight. So we are putting these together with the public transport, and now we want to work on the research. So the idea of this workshop is to how to bring these kind of things together. Because if you talk about only business research, I don't think so we will be successful if only business research. So we should be able to bring in these kind of things together inside. Then it will make sense for us. Okay? So that is one of the aims. And then number two is to provide a platform of peer support for PhD supervisors. We also want to have, you can support him, he can support you. How you all can support each other. So we want to have the peer support things that's happening. Okay? It's not that, I'm a supervisor, I do by myself. You are a supervisor, you do by yourself. No. When you take your student for defense, he should be able to help you. This is what we want to see. So in my experience working with Vietnam, people in PhD, defense and so on, I find this is not there. Like you brought your student the other day, I still remember. You brought your student for supervision and you defended for your student. But the other lecturers are not supporting you. For me, that is not the culture we want. We don't want that culture. We want a culture where we can help each other. We should be able to help each other. If your students are going for a defense, and he can look at the PowerPoint and tell you, okay, this one is not right, this one is right. So we want that to happen. Okay? We want to supervise students without compromise to quality. Nurul, bawa yang kita punya video clip tu yang besar. MIT video clip. Yang kita tunjuk kat Politek. So we want to make sure that we have this kind of support. Okay? And this is absolutely important. We need the support. So that is the second one. The third one is to offer the opportunity to discuss your research work in a safe and supportive environment. We don't want to see students register for PhD. After 1 year says, I don't want to do. I want to drop. Why? Because my supervisor is not supporting me. So we don't want that. It is not healthy. Maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, university will say, oh, I got 10 PhD students, but 6 students failed, only 4 passed. Last time they say that, and they're proud to say that. But today they say that. I think that's not right. When you take someone for PhD, you know he is already qualified. So why should he fail? That means something is not right in the system. The way you conduct, the way you supervise is not right. Because he is qualified, right? When he is qualified, he is supposed to pass. But why is he failing? That means there's something not right in the system. Either the supervisor or the school is not giving him the support and so on. Something is not right. Here in this university, when we admit students to supervision, the access to international journals. We give them access. Very costly. Very costly. We give them. In PhD, university cannot make money. A real PhD, university cannot make money. Because the international journal, one paper is already about 40 USD, 50 USD. And we give you the access. Every student, we give you the access. So it is, you cannot make money. But what we want to do, we want to make sure that support, safe and support environment for students. We want to give a safe and support. Students shouldn't say that, I signed for PhD, but then my supervisor say I need to have journal papers, but I don't have access to journal. Every time I see journal paper, I need to download, I need to pay. So we don't want that. Okay? So we want to make sure we support the student plan on that area. Okay? We are even looking at how to give e-books to students, which is costly again. Yesterday we had a meeting, we are discussing whether it's possible to give the e-books, access to students, but very costly. But today we give the journal, then on we will give. Okay. The last one is to stimulate current and future work. What is the future in research? What is the topic that is really interesting today? Many a time you see, in my last, I think 5 years working with Vietnam students and so on. Okay, working with Vietnam students, the last 5 years. Most of the time when students do research, the topic is not interesting, not challenging. They talk about factor motivating employees, customer satisfaction, student satisfaction. Not really interesting. They can pass the PhD, but what do you contribute to your country? What do you contribute to your university? Nothing. Okay. So we also want to make sure when we do something, supervision for students, we give them a challenging topic. A challenging topic, and we guide them through. So that's why I say we want to stimulate what today is important. For example, I got one PhD student, Miss Pei Wai. She wants to do on logistics, okay, and transportation, and install in my computer with the speaker. Okay. Boleh, Zul, you go ahead, install. So she wants to do on logistics and transport. So I told her, which one you want to focus, transport or logistics? Then she said transport. Then I said, transport got two, public and private. Which one you want? She said private. I said, what you want to say in private? Then she told me something, which I said, it's already many people have done research on that. Why don't you do on public transport? She said, oh, very difficult, public transport. I said, don't worry, I will help you. Now, I said, you go to all the LRT stations here. I said, there are many LRT stations, train station, a lot train station. I said, you go and look, what is the real problem in the station? I said, you go. I give you 2 weeks, just go. So she came back, she told me, this problem, that problem, one by one. Then she told me there's another problem is, most of the time, the LRT is not fully packed, empty. Half the train is empty. I said, why? She said, no. I said, now you go again, you go and ask the people who are taking the train, what is the frequency they're using the train? What is the purpose they're using the train for? Are they using just because going for work? Are they using for Saturdays, Sundays, weekends? Or are they also using because of carpool system? So she went and asked again. Then they say they only use for work. Why they don't use on Saturday, Sunday? Then they say, problem is when we park our car, we have to pay very high. The parking fees is high. Car park. I said, now you've got a problem to solve in your research. Now you study on why the usage of public transport LRT is low. Because the car park's price is high. So you do a research and you give a solution for this. Now she's doing a research. So this is what we want a student to really solve a real problem, a real business problem. What is the real problem? Solve the problem. Not to do a research and after finishing the research, everything is quiet. No one make use of the research. You do research on student satisfaction, you do research on customer satisfaction, after that the research finish, put in the library. Nobody open and read. So we don't want that kind of, we don't want. Okay, we want to give that and it should be open and it should benefit someone. So this is why I said I want to work with the students who are having a research topic that solve the real problem. Okay? So, those are the objectives of the research. Huh? Okay? Now, so today, I'm going to talk to you about getting in the visitation mindset. Actually, research, if you are serious with your student, it's very easy, chapter 1. And most of the time, students have real problem in writing their chapter 1. That is the easy. It's like filling in the blank. But most of the time, students have problem with the chapter 1. Okay? So that's why I call this as getting in the dissertation mindset. Not writing assignment. Students think it is writing assignment. Chapter 1 is like writing assignment. No, that is not what we want. Here it is not writing assignment. It is not writing assignment. It is a dissertation. So you must get your student to understand at the first place, A, PhD research is not the assignment. It is a dissertation. The mindset must come in. Otherwise, they think it's like writing an assignment. Introduction, background, and then they write some story and then write conclusion. No, that's not it. So now I am going to take you through step by step the right process of writing chapter 1 to prepare your students for proposal defense. Okay, take note. Seriously, these notes were very fresh. It is not the notes that you have seen earlier. This is specially prepared for your group. Okay, for PhD supervisors group. So I will take you through step by step and tell you how to write the chapter 1 without missing anything. And if your students follow this, they'll get perfect score in their proposal defense without problem. Also, I give you insight here with examples. I say problem statement, what is the example? Significance, what is the example? I give you examples. Okay? Now, before I could move on this, okay, I'll just like to take you through a proper video on the university so that you know what is the background of the university. Okay, so at least you will be familiar with the university. Okay.
learning experience, especially in pursuing higher education. As Malaysia is a globally renowned center for academic excellence.
So now I'm going to take you through a corporate video of the university to let you know what's the background of the university. It's just a 3-minute video, very fast. Then you'll know why we follow the MIT style.
Malaysia, a country of multicultures, religions, races, and languages, and fascinating cities equipped with modern amenities and linked by an extensive infrastructure. People from all walks of life, be they locals or foreigners, gain a wealth of learning experience, especially in pursuing higher education. As Malaysia is a globally renowned center for academic excellence, on par with other countries like the US, UK, and Australia. The Malaysia University of Science and Technology, MUST, was established in 2000 by the non-profit MUST ASAN Foundation, with the assistance of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It was founded in response to the government's call for a world-class postgraduate university in science and technology. MUST's mission is to produce leaders and critical thinkers in science and technology, trained in entrepreneurship, who can develop and manage world-class indigenous technologies in order to achieve its vision to become a nucleus for high-tech R&D activities. MUST offers 7 innovative and creative postgraduate programs for graduates aspiring to enhance their technical knowledge and research skills to widen and improve their career options. Biotechnology, construction engineering and management, information technology, materials science and engineering, transportation and logistics, energy and environment, systems engineering and management. These programs promote an R&D focused learning environment to produce elite graduates with technical knowledge and research skills that are up to date and relevant to the times. Each program requires a minimum of 3 semesters of full-time study involving both coursework and research. Our students are graduates with backgrounds in engineering, science, or business, or with relevant work experience. Students have the opportunity to work across disciplinary boundaries and gain analytical skills needed to design and build complex systems, as well as apply the relevant concepts and tools to manage such systems. MUST, powered by knowledge, enriched by innovation.
So that is the university. So now roughly you know the history and the background. This university was actually started by Tun Mahathir. I think Mahathir, you know, right, the former minister, Prime Minister of Malaysia. So he wanted to have a university to work on research with one of the best world-class universities. And now, under the Times Higher Education, MIT is #1. So QS ranking, MIT is #1 in the world. MIT is #1 in the world. So MIT has always been #1, #5, #6, like that in the world. Yeah, within the top 10 universities in the world. So the Malaysian government invested $100 million to work with MIT. So in 2000, year 2000 started, this is where it started, and to bring in postgraduate schools, only postgraduate, not undergraduate. Okay, so our student numbers are very low. We're only about 1,000. Okay, we are focusing on postgraduate, right? And if you see our postgraduate, the strength that we have is on business, construction management, environment, systems engineering, transport logistics. These are all postgraduate biotech here. Biotech, I don't want to go any further because I want to close down biotech. Because biotech, there is not much job opportunity outside there. I don't know, Vietnam here, job opportunity is not good, so closing. So we continue to focus on the postgraduate studies in this university. And we have lecturers and professors who are really very good. Anyone from IT background? Anyone IT background?
Yeah.
IT background, yes. You all use IPv4 in Vietnam or IPv6? IPv6. Now only started, right? Now only starting, right?
Yeah.
The one who invented IPv6 in the world. Do you know who is that? In the world. Internet Protocol version 6, IPv6. Is a professor here in this university. You can go and Google IPv6. There are 4 people who made the council and they introduced the IPv6. Professor Sureshwar is joined us last month. So we have world-class professors here. Okay, and he's the one who introduced the IPv6. Vietnam is just only now getting into IPv6. Before there was IPv4. Okay, and Sri Lanka, no IPv6. So we are going to get IPv6 there. So we have all the best professors in the world. Okay, and then we have one more person, Dr. David Walker, who is an Englishman. Okay, he is very good in risk management. He is the advisor for the Malaysian Central Government Bank, consultant for the bank. Okay, so David Walker. So we have all the world-class faculty here in this university. Why? Because we want to focus on postgraduate. So as I said, if you work with this university, it is an advantage for you. You can work with all these professors. Okay, and they are very nice people. They're willing to help you. And today, Professor Suresh is in Germany. The IPv6 professor is in Germany. He is running a workshop in Germany. It is really good. You can go Google and see IPv6. So that is our vision of the university. So that gives you a rough idea, a background to where we are, this university is. And December this year, we are going to our new building in Kota Damansara, in the center of Kuala Lumpur city. We are going there. It is a 6-story, left and right wing, our own building. This is a rental premise. We are renting here, and this one in main road, nobody can see. It is hidden. From the main road, you cannot see. But that building is in the cross junction of the main road. Beside there is IKEA. IKEA is beside there. So we are moving there in December. Okay, so this again to tell you, this university is not a 100% private university. It's not a private university 100%. And that's why you see our name, we call it Malaysia University. The word Malaysia, only public government can use. Private cannot use the word Malaysia. Private university cannot use the word Malaysia. Only government university can use the word Malaysia. So we are Malaysia University. Okay, so we are not run by board of directors. No, we are by board of trustees. Trust is a government trust base. Okay, so that is just to give you a background. So while you work with us, you should feel proud to work with the Malaysia University of Science. Okay, you're not working with a private university which is profit driven, running for profit. Okay, so now let's go through the chapter. Okay, so next. As I've shared this with you all earlier, the word research itself, when you talk to your student, the first day you meet your student, you tell them the definition of research means you take the word research and you split them into two. You split them into two. Re and you tell your student. Because they should not come back to you and say, Why, professor? You're asking me to read again. So you tell them, hey, research means again. You search again. So read means again. So if your student come and say, I'm tired, every time I see you, you say, go read some more. Why? Because the word research means go and read again. Okay? So explain to the student. Make them understand. Pity them. Actually, you need to pity your student. Don't think that your students are stubborn. Don't think that students want to come and fight with you. No. It's just that they don't understand. You have to sympathize them. You have to sympathize them and make them understand what is research all about. So by definition, the word research means you investigate it again. Now, the difference is you investigate is critically. A critical investigation. You investigate but critically. What is critical? Critical means when I look at someone, I talk about his good things, I talk about his bad things also. That's what you call critical. I talk about your strength, I also talk about your weaknesses. That's what you call critical. If I only talk about your strength, I don't talk about your weaknesses, that is not critical. Someone happy. Yeah? In research, you need to be critical. This is where I find most of the students, they are not critical in their writing. They only say, oh, John says student satisfaction is important for the university. And then Michael also says student satisfaction is important. Then Dr. Luyen also says student satisfaction is important. That is not critical. Okay. That is not critical. That is a statement. You say something. That is not critical. But if you say, Dr. Luyen says student satisfaction is important for the progress of university. On the other hand, Michael claimed that student satisfaction is not absolutely important, but the most important thing is student experience. Dr. Luyen's research was conducted in Vietnam. Michael's research was conducted in Malaysia. Dr. Luyen's research was conducted in high school. Michael's research was conducted in university setting. You see that? This is what we call critical. This is not there in students. This is the weaknesses that we see among students. So we need to be understanding what is research all about. It's all about critical investigation. Okay? If you need to condemn it politely. If you need to condemn someone, condemn, but politely say it. Okay? So get this clear in your students' mind. Okay? The next, let us look at what is research and what is this all about. Basically, research is directed to solve a problem. But based on your experience, how many research is actually solving problems? Not many research are solving problems. Most of the time, students' research are just exploration, not solving problems. They just explore. Oh, the Dalat city, a lot of florists. Explore and then tell what's happening. So that's not the thing. The research should be solving the problem. Okay? It generates generalization, principles or theories. In research, you want it to be generalized, meaning to say, if a Dalat florist, you're solving the problem of Dalat florist, it should also solve the problem of Malaysian florists here. At least to certain percentage. Not 100%, but to certain percentage. And you also have theories. So the theories must also be supported. Okay. It's based upon observable experience or empirical evidence. Now when students come across the word empirical, they're scared. Wait, what is this? Empirical. Oh, I'm scared. I don't know. I don't understand what's empirical. Very simple. The meaning of empirical means observable experience. What you observe in your research, what you notice in your research, that is what empirical. What you see, you come out and you write. That's what you call as empirical. You observe, you collect data, you come out and you write. That's called empirical. And research demands accurate observation and description. You cannot, students cannot write saying that I think so, I believe, cannot. I assume, cannot. You cannot. You must be accurate, sharp. If you say this hypothesis is accepted, why accepted? If you say this hypothesis is rejected, be sharp and say this hypothesis was rejected because the alpha was set as 0.01 and the p value was 0.02. So far, this hypothesis is rejected. You must be accurate. No such thing as I think, I believe, I assume. Cannot. Okay, so it must be accurate. It involves gathering new data. This is what we call in research primary data. New data is called primary data. All data are called secondary data. Okay. So a research must have primary data. Unless it is a finance research, that is difficult to get primary data. You get secondary data, like company, financial statement, blah, blah, blah. So then no choice. You got no choice. But you will have to have some questionnaire to justify why. So it's a systematic and applies rigorous analysis. Again, in research, you need to tell your students, especially if you are a student who are many years working in the industry, 20 years working in the industry, you supervise the student. The student will always argue with you. They will argue. They say, no, in my experience, this is not the way. In my experience, this is how it happened. They will argue with you. So don't get angry. Tell them, hey, look, your experience, put it there. Put your experience aside. Now you are a researcher. You cannot use your emotion in research. Your experience, put it aside. You cannot use your emotion. Right? Now, what do you need to do? You need to think in a systematic process. A step-by-step process. You cannot miss even one step. You miss one step, out. You cannot miss one step. You have to follow the systematic process. So, research, you need to tell your student that it is systematic and you have analysis. Yes, I use the word rigorous analysis if you're using SPSS, but if you're using PLS, it's very simple. Very easy. I am very sure all of you will love to use PLS. It's very easy. It's not like regression, you go there, you key in one tab, no such thing. It makes your life so easy, PLS. It's so easy. And ISI journal, nowadays, they want PLS. They want PLS. I'm sure you all from university, all your university now, all asking you to publish paper in ISI journals, corpus, right? Yeah. So, PLS is well accepted in Scopus and ISI. Okay? So, we will teach you that. Okay? And it requires expertise, certain expertise where your students don't have. This is where you come in as a supervisor to give the expertise to your students. And end of the day, you are trying to get the objective of the research to be achieved and in a logical manner. The objective of the researcher. Can you imagine there are some students who write the research, there is no research objective. I really don't understand how they write research. No research objective. They say research question is enough. Research question is enough. No need to have objective. I don't understand how. The way I was trained is different. And MIT system is also like that. You need to have objective. Okay. So if anybody asks you why you follow the system, you just have to say this is MIT system. Okay. And in our university, you follow MIT system. Now, the importance of research, as I said earlier, number one, and your student are working on, sometimes it takes you 3 years. In this university, the fastest the student can finish is 2 years. The fastest. That means the student is very serious and working on it, 2 years can complete. Okay, but on average, students takes about 3 years. But if the student is very good, very fast working, 2 years can. Okay, so the research that the students are conducting must bring something to the quality of life of your country, of your society. There must be something significant. Okay, as I said, the PhD is not making money for the university, but PhD is to improve the society, is to improve the country. That is PhD. That's why they have 1-to-1, not like one lecturer to 20 students. Okay, and we have a limit here. One professor can take maximum 10 students. That's it. Not more than 10 students. Okay, that's the maximum. Okay, and it improves the instruction. When you give something instruction to your people in research, when you go through the right process, systematic, people listen to your instruction. Why? Because you have done the proper process of research, and now you're coming up with statement. So your statements are accepted. It improves students' achievement. Yes, of course. Students, when they go through the Viva, if you supervise the student very well, the student won't be going through surprises. In the Viva, they will pass the Viva with minimum corrections. No student pass Viva without correction. In my experience, no one pass Viva without correction. Everyone will pass Viva with correction. But the case is minimum correction, major correction, or fail. No one pass Viva, oh, pass, no correction, no such thing. Okay? They pass with minimum correction. So that's what you want to achieve here. Okay? And it satisfies man's need, human beings' need. It reduces burden of work. Maybe you're doing research on policy for the government policy. So it helps the government. It has a deep-seated psychological aspect, especially when you're talking about behavior of human being, behavior of students, behavior of customer. You are trying to influence something in their psychological manner. Okay? It improves the exposure of food products. Maybe some of you, like in Malaysia, there are already some researchers working on halal food. You know halal food, right? Halal food. Okay? So that's what I choose. So, the qualities of a good researcher. A good researcher, what are the qualities that you look for a good researcher? Number one is, he must be research oriented. Whatever he talks. A good researcher, when he takes a class, when you teach your students, right, you always quote, okay, according to Jim Collins in his book, Good to Great, he claims that discipline is the first thing, the most important. Discipline execution, discipline people, discipline technology, Jim Collins claims. That's what I call as a research-oriented person. And that makes a difference from you as a lecturer and compared to others. And when you give a talk to your students, you always quote examples. Okay? And that makes a real research-oriented person. And efficient. The time given for a student is 2 to 6 years in this university for a PhD. Maximum 6 years. After that, the student cannot finish, then thank you very much. You have to say thank you very much. 6 years is the maximum period. So, efficient. So, I told you 2 to 6 years given. And I also told you on average student takes 3 years. If a student can complete with 3 years, then the student is efficient. Okay. Scientific. A good researcher will always fall back to the scientific approach of doing things. Example, choosing sample size. How to choose a sample, right? I've talked to you all in class how to choose samples, right? I've given you the table, Krajewski and Morgan. I gave you the table, right? But a good researcher will not only put the one table and say, oh, based on this table, population like this, the sample like this. A good researcher will say, according to Morgan, this. And then according to Umar Sekran, he says this. Okay? 60 is good enough. And according to Zygmunt, he says this. This is what I call as is scientific and effective. He comes up with solution. He is an active researcher. People like you, after going through this class, you must be active. You don't finish this class, this workshop, and then you don't produce any research. That's not the way. You finish this class, you must write something. You must produce some work. You must keep writing something. You must get yourself active. Participate actively. Research is a skill. Writing papers for journal is a skill. As you write, keep on writing, it will come to you. But if you don't write, you just keep quiet, it won't happen. Okay? And I'm sure in Vietnam today, your administrators, your deans are pushing you for research publication. Yes or no?
Yes. Very strong.
Very strongly. You have to. Even me, even though I'm the president of the university, do you know I still have my KPIs? Every year I need to produce 2 papers for either Scopus or ISI journal. I have to. Okay. In February I finished 1 paper, submitted, and now September, next month, 1 more paper coming up. So I meet my KPI. I have to. Yes. And next year I keep my KPI 4 papers in ISI. I set my own target. Nobody set target for me. I'm the president of the, I don't need to set target. But now I set target. I set target for myself. I say next year must be 4 ISI journal and 1 book. Because earlier I wrote a book in 2014 and then I stopped. Now I need to write the book. I got no choice. Nobody push me, but I have to. Because only when I do, then I can tell my people, hey, you do, you do. If I don't do, and I tell you, you do, it's not fair. It's not fair, right? So I have to. Okay? It's not fair, yeah. I am a person like that. I don't tell people to do it, I just keep quiet. If I tell you to do something, I better do. Okay? So, you choose to become a lecturer, you like or don't like, you have to publish. And here in Malaysia University of Science and Technology, we give you all the chance for you. Even next month, there's a conference. If you want to put a paper for the conference, anytime you can write a paper. I give you the chance, you just put in paper. Okay, international conference. So far, we've got, I think, about 60 papers already. So you want to put a paper, you put in. Easy. Just write a simple paper, put in. And you will get your paper published. At least you get some points. All of you have done your PhD, right? Just summarize your PhD work and put a paper. Okay, and Dr. Reza, the one who is going to take you through, the dean, I will tell him to help you. You just send to him what you have done, something in summary, then he will try to modify something, help you through. You want? I can help you there. Okay? Why? Because I want you to start writing. You need to start writing. Otherwise, you cannot. You cannot win. You must start writing. Yeah? So, no choice. You like or don't like, you must start writing. Only then when people Google your name inside Google, oh, see, wow, this guy got a lot of papers. Huh? So you must be like that. Huh? Like my daughter, 1 month ago, she doesn't know what I'm actually doing much. Then my wife told me, you go to Google father's name and you see what happened to that Google. Then she put my name, she was surprised. Then she called me, she said, hey daddy, your name, very famous in Google. So many things are daddy about you, all research. I said, well, what I have achieved is nothing. Maybe just 5% only. What I've achieved is just 5%. It has to be more than that. So, this workshop is also to motivate you to write. Okay? Like today, if you have 1 or 2 papers, after 1 year I see you, you say, I got already 4 papers, I'll be very happy. I will be very happy. Okay? So please work on it seriously and let us see how you publish it. Indeed, Dr. Leon is supposed to join me in 2012 as a postdoctoral. If he would have joined me, I will make sure he got 10 papers. That one I can make sure. Yeah. Okay. So, but anyway, still not long. It's still you are still on time for publication. Oh, power. Okay. So please work on it seriously, right? Now the other one is resourceful. You must be a researcher. Must be resourceful. When people talk to you something, you should be able to retrieve information from somewhere and give to your student. When your student come to you, sir, I got problem here in this area. You cannot tell student, you go and search. Go search. Help your student how to do the search. Okay, now you go to Google Scholar, you search. Okay, now you go to this website, you search. Okay, so you must teach your student how to do the search. Okay, maybe later on I will tell you some of the things that I have. Individually, I purchased digital journals. Maybe I can just 1 or 2. I can just help you. Okay, Fortune 500, income, and all these things, digital. Yeah. So that will help you to give you the latest things. You need that? Okay, I will support you. Okay. And creative, you need to be creative in writing your chapter 5, especially honest. Tell your students to be honest. If all the hypotheses are rejected, write and say all the hypotheses are rejected. Yeah. Honest. Don't need to pretend and then worry that, oh, hypothesis, all my hypotheses are rejected. So what happened? Don't tell your student, okay, I might change a few things here and there. Play data. Don't play with data. Don't manipulate data. Modify data. Don't modify data. Don't. Create data. That is the reason why you always have H0, H0. That's why I find many students never use the H0. A smart student will use H0. Why? In case my hypothesis is all rejected, I can always say, hey, look at my H0. I already said already, the hypothesis all is not accepted. Then my H0 will be accepted. So I qualify. This is where supervisors don't supervise students and tell them the beauty of using H0. Why do they have to use H0? H0, hypothesis 0. Yeah, but many students never use that. And when all the hypotheses are rejected, they panic. But if they use H0, no need to panic. You can always say, I already made an assumption that all this relationship is not significant by saying H0. So you save yourself. So honesty is very important. Being honest. Okay, let's take a break.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's take a break, and then I'll try to get the power. And I think the coffee and tea is there. Please get some there.
Cảm ơn Dr. Lý trả lời 7 năm dài hay đấy mà sai rồi cũng cả những em lần đầu
thầy giáo sư tiến sĩ Đào Mục Đô năm nào cũng năm 2 lần vô vậy đó thầy này từ ra sau đại học cô nó từ đại học đây là hiệu trưởng hai trường rồi đó nhé trước là làm chuyên sau một cái cô này học Trần Thanh Siêu đời biết tìm món hết được học rồi nhưng anh không có nghĩ rằng cái đường này nó làm nhiều việc phải ngồi bên cạnh nó làm rồi ngồi sát rồi không làm quá
cho anh luôn
mình biết
phải cái con máy không mở trong cái thầy này là cái thầy này không chịu bắt
ai ngồi đây thảo nào mình biết không quái cái người gì ở đây thì cả mở được tiếng nào thế nào thì này nó bắt người ta rồi cái này chuyện mà đàn ông đàn bà nó không nhu cầu sinh lý như nhau đó thầy nói thế có khác chút này cái là sự việc thì relax chị đi vệ sinh chưa làm thế mà tại vì nó dùng cái đồ sưởi cái khung
ủa sao nó lên mạng tự nhiên được chân nó lại tắt người ta đâu phải nhập lại
chị phải remember đó có phải nhớ
Because me as finance so after 10 minutes it's one it's not so I must set and one by 10 minutes
làm việc
after 10 minutes
bỏ làm việc phải xử lý sai đó lại không có để cho chú là có đi địa phương cũng được bạn nha hả của mấy trường nào em ở trường nào đây là cái đâu chưa ngày ngày xưa thì cái nói là có gì phải đọc hàng ngày đó không vận tải gì mình không trước đó con hỏi một Thái ngày xưa bên đó xong rồi bên đó tin chuyển qua như thế này em hãy vô được cái trang chủ nó hôm nay vô được rồi thôi thì bây giờ mình xài cái gì mình xài được nhưng mà mình
vì em mới nói đâu khoảng 10 phút thì gas xô chơi kỳ rồi cái vô lại là sao
trước khi về hẹn ở đâu bây giờ nào
làm cái nghiệp anh
ở nghiệp khỏe rồi
Disney when I space one price it had 10 minutes cancel so it's so 10 minutes so I must set that
Ok. Nước kìa. Nước cay kìa.
Một cái là một chai, một chai, chai này một pha được vô ngon nè, con anh về được như này là em đến đây ngồi xuống.
Cái anh đưa anh cầm là nóng ngay gì đâu.
Giờ hôm qua là bức xúc lắm rồi đấy, mình mới ngồi giữa cả buổi kia đâu mà anh bức xúc rồi. Mà nãy giờ qua anh ngồi giữa cả buổi kia đài, qua anh bức xúc lắm rồi đó. Phương Nam nhảy cho nó là đây là quay trường mình quay lên YouTube thôi đấy, nên là vào YouTube kèm được cái lại trường quay luôn, đâu có vô được quay này, không quay đấy, quay là thứ vậy không, thì lên YouTube của ông thôi,
Mình quay đi về coi lại
tiếp này đó nên là quay
thời gian là để đi làm nhiều làm nó bị ra không, không em là để ra được. Này nhiều ra vô
thì tối nay phải là nó cô là hai nó tôi biết tối nay là nó cô
thôi. Giờ xin phép.
đó đấy tôi nè đấy
xuống lại có trên gì
cái đó có cái như này thôi
những cái này
cái giỏ
cái này là dùng
quay thầy
Zalo này nữa là bây giờ nói là networking rồi khi nào
Xin lỗi anh em. Yes. Có hội về hội giáo sư quý mại không bạn? Quý mại kia. Các bạn cho đi là không sẽ lọt dài cùng nước được. Dạ. Sẽ lọt đi đấy khi nào lên Đắk Lắk tôi ghé thăm ông trời.
đúng rồi đến
Sao vậy?
giống kiểu quá giống kiểu quá rồi lúc đó nó có hôm nay gặp rồi nghe đó cái gì nào lên thì xin cái gì nữa
Đây cũng phim mà làm cái mạng với bạn
rồi mà
nhiều quá
phó
Dạ.
Xin đây ở tới
Đó anh đây là người chuyện quen.
đây rồi.
Thấy gì khó mà
có là có sân hành.
dạ lý đi mà mình là
Tối nay uống 2 chai.
tối nay là người ly một ly.
Tức là khi mua cho
Mua không trên chỗ này có bán Nhật Ma, mua Nhật Ma đi uống được.
ở trong á, ngoài là không có được đâu.
Vẫn Nhật Ma được.
Rồi đấy quán còn 2 lần. Đây nè trái kìa, các bạn. Đó, trái.
Chưa. Rồi hiểu.
Không nghe ơi, đâu
Trước
ok.
cái kia là thạc sĩ ngôi của trường, đây là hội đồng khoa học, tất cả giáo sư là
đưa rồi, đưa cho phải không?
rồi em biết cái nào không biết thầy đâu không? Tốt nghiệp xong thôi.
Quá hay.
Cái gì hay quá.
Bạn nghiên cứu môn BOF nha, cái phần này hay lắm. Xài vào đấy rồi đấy BOF. Nhưng mà cái BOF. Hồi trước tôi mới nghiên cứu rồi nhưng mà P lại á. BOF.
Nhưng mà nó lớn hơn
Đúng bằng cái S à,
đúng rồi, cái đó
phải lại
nó là gì à?
kia
À, B
không nghe
sao nhầm đấy nhầm. Ghi còn béo mặt. Tôi liền nói anh nhanh chưa xin cả xin đi cả
muốn nghe
Vẫn là bởi vì cái học của anh không cái gì anh cứ học luôn.
rồi
Đây mới nữa, đây mới.
tôi nhận cái đó thì con dưới đầu quá thì con càng kiếp
đó, tôi nói thì đó anh của bạn anh của bạn để tôi nhận nó từ rất là đây của tôi thấy là vậy đó tôi học được hay là cũng như vòng quanh
không phải cho con nghe là tối nay quá giờ kia
Tối lần nào sẽ đi nha các chị.
tối qua tối kia thực trái
các series gì các series gì thì hành không bán cái gì rồi
mua đi xong này mua đi sắp sửa
cái câu sau này thì cho nó lý cái này là cấp
không được cái này cái lợi dân nó như thế nào nó lên nó xài ra
chắc về sau về cái đối sư là tháng ngày giáo sư là phải có báo sư đúng không? Đi mình sẽ đi
sớm chưa muốn được cái gì này
mai mốt là sao hỏi nên là chờ sư làm mấy năm nay mấy năm
biết thầy không biết chuyện mà sao thầy nói như thế nào thì tốt rồi, nhưng mà cái này làm mà để cố gắng để chúng mình bị điều mình mới nói trời ơi thầy
biết dầu nó sẽ thế nào
thì nói là qua học thì được,
không phải rất là luôn rồi học cái gì này này thì cái tiết lộ qua đi rồi xong rồi anh em mình
sắp tới bên ngoài mà
cho nên tốt lắm
nào rất là để cho phương tiện và đến cơ hội nhỉ, mà là cái quản thép tự là thế sao bên này cũng được
Okay, now let's get started and
rồi đó bác thì ra
là nói chúng mình là sẽ nhận ra này là vậy thôi bảo lại
không để mình bảo bạn cái cao
nó có hai này nó do là cái đuôi nó ôn năm chưa được năm không được rồi tập trung học đi 4 ngày hay quá không cần vô mạng đâu về khách sạn vô ghi âm vô ghi âm là có cái YouTube kìa giáo sư tiến sĩ Trương Quang Vinh quá dữ. Xin chào ngài giáo sư. Này em phóng viên báo Thanh Niên đến hỏi thầy.
Vậy đó là không làm việc với thanh niên của thị xã nhé.
Em là phóng viên
là chỉ làm việc với mọi người con hỏi thôi.
Ngắn nhất là phóng viên minh giảng, thấy nó là trốn đi. có một đứa có cái cô gì đó cái là chuyên môn phải áp dụng
Rồi anh biết mình có đầy đủ hết danh sách.
không viết viết đi đâu nói không biết
ông chỉ vừa là muốn là tham gia trực tiếp.
Anh có tin là tí nữa mọi người sẽ xẻ ra.
Đơn vị công tác luôn đi cho nó xong đó.
Hồi nãy
Okay.
Cộng đồng giáo sư chưa đi bạn được xíu nữa.
Okay, sorry, just now I didn't get a round of introduction. I think that's important. Also for me to know which faculty or which area you're from, so that we can interact better. Okay. So now I give you my business card. Okay. Maybe some of you already have the business card. Then I would want you to introduce yourself. Okay. Today you have my new one.
Thank you.
So now let us get ourselves introduced, okay, one by one, maybe starting from the gentleman over here. Just let us know which university you're from and what is your current role in the university, okay? Please, maybe starting from you.
My name is Phương Nam. I'm a project manager and lecturer of the University of Economy, Ho Chi Minh City. I teach the market research.
Okay, market research. Oh, okay. All right.
My name is Trần Quang Minh. You can call me Minh.
Minh.
I am lecturer School of Tourism and Hospitality at UFLIP, Ho Chi Minh City University of Foreign Language and Information Technology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So my
Foreign language
major module at my university is Human Resource Management, Modern Management, and public speaking.
Public speaking.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
your area is HRM, huh? Human Resource Management also.
Yeah, at the same time, I am a founder and director and investor of International Children Foreign Language Center. Meanwhile, I am the director of Vạn Hạnh Foreign Language and IT Center at the same time.
Good. We have a English center here in our university. While you're here, you can just have a look at it. We are running a program called DINET. DINET, Dynamic Education, DINET, and he is the head of that. Edmund is the head of English, okay? And maybe later on, if you have time, you can bring Ashley, Rita, and Lando later on after. Okay. So this DINET, it sounds very new to you, but I understand there's someone running the DINET program in Vietnam. I don't know. But the difference between their DINET and our DINET is the DINET that we run is a qualification that is equivalent to TOEFL and IELTS. You know TOEFL and IELTS, right? An international requirement for English, right? So once the students finish at level 6 and so on, they have an equivalent to TOEFL IELTS. So that is the difference. But you can just have a look at the system, the DINET that we have. And Edwin is the head of the DINET. So we have a few lecturers who take us through the DINET. And indeed, we have one guy from UK, an Englishman, who is responsible for the DINET. So Ashley, his name is Ashley. Ashley is a UK guy. So he is the one who's the person responsible for DINET. Maybe your time you can talk to him. Yep.
My name is Nguyễn Hải Đạo. My name is called Đạo.
Okay.
I'm lecturer and teaching about culture and history.
Culture and history. Culture and history. And 1 year in university, eh? Okay. Yep.
Yes, I'm going to study of child education at University of Vietnam. I'm teaching on law and
teach law. So are you a lawyer? You must be careful. You are lawyers in my class. Anything wrong we say, we can sue you.
Such as business ethics, for instance.
Business ethics and law.
My name is Nguyễn Văn An. I am a president of a financial company. My company taking in group, medical.
Okay.
Other side, I am a professor of horoscope and anthropology.
Wow. So you do the horoscope studies, and you are the president of the association. Wow, wow. That is right. So you can teach my horoscope. Horoscope. Yeah.
Hello, Dr. Al. My name is Trung Vinh. I am faculty speakers application of North University. I'm a teach Master Management Studies in Vietnam. I teach at University of Social Sciences, Interpretation and Translation. In public university, I teach management and measuring business, education, and human resource.
This is an international university.
Yeah, I have a lot of teach online.
Yeah, yeah. I heard about it.
MBA.
Yeah, they're quite strong in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Many students, right?
Yeah.
It's a US-based university. Okay, Dr. Lian, going to lecture the Yogi Vega. Many years.
My name is Phương.
Yes,
the red line.
Yeah.
So PSUONG, you can see my name. Right now I'm working for one of the biggest private international university in Vietnam. Again, it's called Học Bàng. That is the surname of our center. So I finished my PhD in Thailand, Malaysia.
Oh, in Thailand. So you speak good Thai language?
Yeah, Thai language.
Wow.
In
this which university? Siam University?
That NIDA, National Institute of Development and Administration, NIDA.
NIDA.
It's just similar to our university, just train like postgraduates.
Okay, focus on postgraduate.
No, undergraduate. So just a similar. So my recent interest and most interest, I like to work with organizational behavior, corporate culture, and consumer behavior, and also
The soft side of management.
corporate strategies and also some companies. I'm consulting for business.
So you also do consulting?
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
I have been in Thailand for many consultation projects.
Yeah.
I have been a consultant for Nippon Sugar. Nippon Sugar is a very big company in Thailand.
Yeah.
They own the sugar plantation. They own the Shangri-La. Shangri-La Thai belongs to Nippon Sugar. So I was a consultant for them for 3 months. And then JB Berlin Chamber, the fast food FMCG was there. And then the Liberty Mutual Group of 5 insurance companies.
Oh, CP,
all these I was a consultant for them. So my engagement with Thailand is quite long. Almost 6 companies I was working as a consultant. While I was lecturing, I was also a consultant. So I know Thai is quite good in business work. They're really good. They're very good. And I had a friend from Mahidol University.
Treatment for medical nature.
Yeah, the one I refer to is the Mahidol by the roadside, the Mahidol Management School.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah.
My name is Quang Anh. I come from the Economic University of Ho Chi Minh. Yeah. And my subject and I focus on teaching leadership.
Leadership. All right. Okay.
And besides that, I have a private institute for business administration.
Business administration, private institute.
Yeah.
You offer what? Diploma?
Private institute.
What do you give them? Certificate. Young entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Young entrepreneur.
By the way, they also have some companies in Cambodia, in Myanmar.
Real businessman, huh?
Yeah,
In Cambodia.
company,
In Myanmar. Also in education or other business?
My company is work on the construction, soil mitigation.
Okay, sorry to finish.
Fueling the soil and testing.
So you're calling to Cambodia and Myanmar.
Well, they have. So morning in Cambodia, later afternoon in Myanmar.
Myanmar.
Evening in
Evening in Vietnam.
I think today in Malaysia.
Good to hear that. Myanmar is a real upcoming country to do business. I think if you set your business entity well, you set your business, I think you should be able to save that. I've got one university from Myanmar who showed interest to work with us, and one association. They are providing MBA in Myanmar. I can't remember, it's in my email. So they are coming down to visit us on the 28th of this month. They want to offer our MBA over there in Myanmar.
I think Cambodia also can expand.
Cambodia so far I don't have any contact. If you find that you want to make a contact for us in Cambodia, please. If you want to be the person to run the business in Cambodia, please. We have a very good MBA program called Professional MBA. Our MBA is a professional MBA. It's different from other MBA. With 6 specialization. 6 specialization MBA. Finance, supply chain, risk management, marketing, entrepreneurship. One more, I can't remember. 6 specialization. Marketing, finance, entrepreneurship, supply chain. Risk management, 6 specialization MBA. It's a professional MBA where the contact hours are less, but all on what you call online learning using LMS system and live streaming classes. Live streaming. So this classroom eventually in another 2 weeks time will be converted to become a satellite classroom. We are going to check out this screen and taking it out and putting a 42 inches screen, 4 screens, over there, one more screen, so 5 screens, and you'll have a camera here. And we changed the seating, the tables all around, 5 seating, satellite classroom. So that is to cater for the MBA.
I think Cambodia need engineering and construction.
Oh, we have
Yeah.
our masters, but no bachelors, masters. As I say, ours is all masters, so no bachelors. Our masters in construction is very good. We got one lecturer, who's Dr. Amir, who has got 5 patents, construction patents. Very good. He's a good researcher. So,
I think you are overseeing it very soon more than 23. So we need more the
construction. Okay, we can explore. It's just that we don't have undergraduate, only postgraduate, PhD engineering and masters in construction. Okay, that's I've seen this gentleman. Yeah.
My name is I'm lecturer and businessman. I've been for the University. And my daughter vice president of the
Okay. So, okay, good. So you can now get your students to be supervised well. I just wish, like, another 5 or 10 years, in Vietnam, you already have your own system of generating, PhD. You have your own system where your university can produce more PhD students. No need to depend on other universities. Once you all become very strong in your PhD supervision, you can start owning your own PhD and you can start to supervise and you can produce better quality PhD students in your own university. That should be the way. You should not be linked to any university for long term.
We also have PhD program.
Yeah. Okay. So this will maybe, you can think about how you can further add value to strengthen your research publication. Here, all lecturers will have to publish papers.
KPI.
Yeah, KPI. Otherwise, they cannot survive here. Otherwise, they have to go. Okay, so it's quite strict here. So I think that's good. Okay, yeah, lady. The only lady we have.
My name is I am a dean of finance and banking of countries of university.
Is it your institute?
No.
Oh, but yours is also finance and
The
management.
same
Finance and marketing.
University, but since in the finance and banking department of the banking result.
Also private one.
Also private.
Big one. Very big one.
The most big one and the second big one.
We have students from FTP. FPT. So we have about 14 students now studying here.
PhD student.
No, they are on English program. English program, and we have bachelor's program, very minimum student. So these people are in the bachelor's program. Our bachelor students, they are in business and IT. Bachelors, they are here for 1 semester. Credit transfer. They come in with credit transfer. They are from FPT. Yeah, FPT University.
My name is Yu Ru.
Yeah.
I'm Deputy President of Vietnam Institute for Entrepreneur Training and Development. The private one. Previously, I used to support for some students. Ifugao State University, Palawan.
Yeah, I've seen you. I've seen you.
I have seen you 4 times.
I've seen you when you do the translation for the students who are doing Ifugao, yeah, and Palawan State University. Yeah. Okay, so this is an institute for entrepreneur training and development. Okay, certificate. Well, we can think, if you want to offer some certificates, we have some certificate programs which are approved by the ministry. Right. And we have certificate in accounting, we have certificate in supply chain, and we have certificate in risk management. 3 certificate levels.
That's professional certificate.
Professional certificates, yeah. They are not the certificate for 2 days certificate.
Yeah.
These certificates are like for 2 or 3 months. They have to go through the certificate program and sit for a small exam, and then they get a certificate.
Previously, I met you at Finland, but we don't have a
Time to talk, yeah.
And I brought the law, yeah, the law to make some session with you and Dr. Bentley.
Okay.
But we have a lot of the chance. Yeah.
To discuss. Okay, no problem. So, okay, good to get introduced. Thank you for advising me on that. That really helped a lot. So at least roughly I know where you all are from and where should we focus on going forward. So, doors are open for discussion. If you want to discuss anything with regards to your university and this university, please feel free. There are a lot of things that we can do without financial implications also. As university to university, we can also talk about things which are without financial implications. Okay, but there are certain things that we have to go with some financial implications. So you can always discuss, and Edmund just now who came here to take attendance. You can talk to him. You can talk to other faculties who come in to take your session. All right. So let's just continue with what we have here. So when students are working on the research, so you need to be very clear. Research are the students working on. Only when you are sure the type of research the student is working on, then you know what path to take. Otherwise, you will be like just thinking of a research and you may apply the wrong method. Okay. So the first type of research that students like to do is maybe exploratory research. Just exploration. Explore. I don't know how deep the swimming pool is, but I want to explore and see how deep the swimming pool is. That's called exploration. I don't know, but I want to explore. Okay, so that is called exploratory research. And this research is undertaken with the aim of clarifying ambiguous problem. You don't know, but there's a problem, which you are not certain of. So you want to go in and see what is all about. And the general problem usually known, but not sufficient. The swimming pool is deep. By looking at the water, the swimming pool is deep, but you don't know how deep the swimming pool is. Is it 2 meters, 3 meters, or 4 meters? It's deep. Okay. The purpose is to get more information, not to uncover specific cause or action. You want to get more information about how deep the swimming pool is, but not to go and say, oh, this swimming pool is 2 meters, so only people aged after 12 years old can use. No, that's not your interest. You just want to know how deep the swimming pool is. And that's what we call as exploratory research. Okay? Why do you do this? Because you want to set the next course of action. By exploring, you know what is the next step that need to be done. That is called exploratory research. The next one is descriptive. The word descriptive itself tells you, meaning to say describing. When you see someone, hey, the girl or the lady looks beautiful, people can question, why you say the lady looks beautiful? So you describe and say, the lady has got long hair. She is tall. So you describe. So this is called descriptive research. Okay. So the aim is actually to identify the characteristics. You want to identify the characteristics. Like you say, the traffic jam. You say, I want to do a research on traffic jam in Ho Chi Minh City. So you need to describe what is traffic jam. If I am stuck on the road for 5 minutes, is it a jam? Or if I'm stuck for 30 minutes, it's a jam. What is traffic jam? Or if I'm waiting at the traffic light, is that also considered traffic jam? So this is what you call descriptive. You want to describe a phenomenon. You need to explain more about things. So that's called, if a students are doing on this, then it is called a descriptive type of research. Students come to proposal, define, and they present. And when the examiner asks, what research are you working on? Are you working on exploratory, descriptive, or causal? The student don't know. I'm doing research. So the student should be sharp and clear what research the student is working on. Just think of the two examples I gave you just now. The swimming pool, exploration. The lady, descriptive. Think of that, you will understand better. Okay? So previous knowledge of the problem, there is already previously some knowledge about the problem. Okay? And now you are trying to be very specific. Very specific. When you say, hey, the lady looks beautiful, everybody knows. Beautiful means, okay, something there nice looking. But now you are trying to describe it more detailed, right? Okay. Like for example, who are the main customer of organic foods? You have organic foods in Vietnam. Now, who are the main customers? So you want to describe. Okay. And are the main customer the Buddhist monk? Are the main customer? Or people who are earning more than USD 2,000 are the main customers? What? So you want to describe. Okay. How many students read the prescribed course literature? When each time you give the course outline of the program, how many students take the trouble to read the outline? Or how many students just straight away look into the content? Where do most holiday makers travel overseas go? People are going on traveling, overseas holiday. Where do they go? In Malaysia, when people come to Malaysia, where do they go? Do they go to Penang? Do they happy going into Kuala Lumpur city? Where do they go? So you want to describe more. So those are some of the examples. Okay. The third one is causal research. Now, why do you want to do causal research? Simple. The answer is you want to study relationship. Causal means you want to study relationship. Now, what relationship? Because of this happened. Because of rain, people buy umbrella. Because of leadership, people leave the organization. The leadership is autocratic leadership. Employees are not happy, they leave the organization. See? It is called causal. Because of this happened. It is a matter of cause and effect. It's cause and effect. Okay, these are the two things that happen. So this is called causal relationship. So based on my experience, I noticed that most of the students in PhD, they like to do causal relationship type of research. And that's the reason why in their hypothesis writing, they write the hypothesis, there is a significant relationship. Have you noticed that the hypothesis? There is a significant relationship between A and B in the hypothesis. So when they put the significant relationship, then you see there is a causal type of study. Because of this happened. Because of this happened. Okay? So I find that students most of the time do this causal. But my advice to you, be careful when the students are doing causal. Okay? They have to go into detail. Most of the time, students like to do causal, but they never want to go into detail. Especially when they are writing the chapter 5. Now, when I say detail means what? The hypothesis is accepted. What does that mean to students? Hypothesis accepted. So what? So we need to go into detail. Why hypothesis was accepted? You need to explain. This is something that is missing in PhD students. You read all the chapter 5, I bet you read, you can see. They are not able to explain why the hypothesis was accepted or why the hypothesis was rejected. They are not able to answer. So when a student is working on the causal relationship type of research, the student should be answering this. Exploration is okay. Exploratory research is okay. You don't need to answer because you only want to know how deep the swimming pool is. Descriptive also okay. You just want to describe the phenomena. But causal, you need to go detailed to explain. So students sometimes they write in the chapter 1 or they write in the chapter 3 the methodology. They say this research is a causal relationship type of study. When you put that statement there in the chapter 5, you better explain that. If you don't want, don't use the causal relationship study. Just put there a descriptive research. You play safe. Okay, these are certain techniques I'm teaching you so that when you supervise students, technically you want to get them right. You know they are not good in writing the chapter 5, don't use the word causal relationship type of study. Just put there descriptive. Okay, and the hypothesis can still be significant relationship, that's okay. No problem. But if you put there causal relationship and your chapter 5 is not explaining, then you are in trouble. And these are some technical things that you need to advise the student. So we have the 3 types of research. So we have the descriptive research, we have the exploratory research, and we have the causal relationship type of research. These are the only 3 types of research that we have as far as business and management is concerned. But in medical, there are a few more types of research. In medical, the intervention type in medical, in pharmacy, pharmacology, they have different type of research. We are not interested in that. Now, let us look at a simple flow chart. A simple flow chart for the research. So, basically, the research starts from identifying the problem statement, or the problem definition, or the problem discovery. And some book they say a research statement. Some book they say a research statement. Some book they say problem discovery. Some book they say problem statement. No problem. Anything you use as long as the title is there. The research statement is also okay. The students get confused. They say, I'm not investigating a problem. So why must I write problem statement? But this is a systematic process. Even though you are not investigating a problem, you still need to write the title as problem statement. That is systematic. Or if you don't want, you put it as research statement. So you play safe. No? Okay? Now, so the research flow starts from the problem statement. Okay? Or the problem discovery. And the next step is what type of research that you are going to work on. So, selection of exploratory research techniques. What type of research are you going to work on? I told you there are 3 types. To be very safe, just go on descriptive. You go inside, you collect data, you come out, and you describe. This is the safest. You go inside, I use this cross section. I go inside, I cut open, I see what is the color of the fruit. I cut open the watermelon, I see yellow color or red color. I come out, I write the watermelon. I went in at yesterday, 16th of August. The watermelon I cut, it was yellow in color. I just write. That's called descriptive. You play very safe. Okay, so you determine that type. And then, in order to determine this type, then you need to look for secondary data. What is secondary data? Secondary data are data that's already been published. Everyone knows about the data. It is readily available. Now, where do you get data? Where do you get the secondary data? Google. Okay, Google. But Google doesn't solve your problem in your country. Cannot. You can get from Google, but you must also understand that there are too many things in Google which are not authenticated, meaning to say there's no authority. Some Google information, no authority. When there's no authority, you cannot take them to be yours. It cannot be yours. So the best way to look for the secondary data is journal papers. Number one. That is the best. After that, you look for government publication. Government economic status, government GDP publication, inflation rate, tourism, attraction, blah, 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 all the publications. Then you look at industry publication. Every industry has got their own magazine, right? Take up from that.
Collect data from the web.
Okay, you can.
Science.
Yes.
Science.
Science.
Science Direct or Emerald.
No, you can go for Science Direct, you can go for Emerald, you can go for EBSCO, any journal that is acceptable. Okay, all these journals are good. All these journals.
Sometimes we don't have an account under the
No, you see, all the journals are with user ID and password. Okay, so for students who enroll with us, we give them the access. Okay, it's all password control. Okay, but you need to encourage, you need to push your university to get access. It is an investment. You have to. As a university, you must have the access. You must ask for the access. Otherwise, it's difficult, you know. You ask your students to write paper, but you don't give them the access. It's not fair. It's not fair, you know. You want them to publish paper, but you don't give them the access. How do they want to publish papers? No? So it's not fair. Yeah. Apart from that, you can also get secondary data from newspaper. Newspaper, very recent publication, what the minister said. Very good. You can put that. That's also called secondary data. Now, the last one is, you can get secondary data from expert opinion. Expert opinion. Like people who are authority in certain area. Minister of Finance said, or the professional body, the Institute of Entrepreneurs, the president said. Those are called expert opinion. That also considered as secondary data. So the right mix of journal versus non-journal is 60% must come from journal, 40% from non-journal. That is the formula. Okay. It cannot be 20% journal, the rest are not from journal. That's not a good research. 60% must come from journals. The 40% you take from non-journals. That is the formula. Okay. Then they say the research is good, acceptable. Okay. But many students get references all from Google, HTTP, www. That cannot, not acceptable.
And
okay.
In some situation, and I see that they get data from Wikipedia. It's not acceptable. Yeah. Yeah, I see that, but I remind some doctor at my department, they get data, and I ask. They say that they collect from Wikipedia, and I say that sort of information is not accepted. Then argue with me. I say
no.
Academically, it's not accept.
Academically, we don't accept.
Yeah.
No. Where can they use Wikipedia? There's one area where Wikipedia can be used. I'll tell you. In chapter 1, you need to write definition of key terms. That definition they can take from Wikipedia and write. That is okay. Only for that, not for literature review, cannot. Only in chapter 1, definition of key term. And that also, they must put, this is theoretical definition, not operational definition. I'll tell you later. Not operational definition, theoretical definition and Wikipedia. Only in chapter 1. No other chapter 1. Okay. So that is not, open source is not encouraged as a secondary data.
But in my understanding, I think that the chapter 1, like the chapter summary, is everything. So definition and key term it should come from chapter 2, chapter review, and the rest. Because chapter 1, like just the summary
of
everything.
Yeah.
So
the flow.
Yeah, actually for PhD level, any sources from Wikipedia.
The best is, if you want to put the definition, it's always good to go from Oxford Dictionary. Oxford Dictionary definition, that is acceptable. But you don't want to encourage people using the open source definition. Okay, so at least Oxford Dictionary and so on is already well recognized. Okay, so well, that is how you get the secondary data to put it. And then once you get the secondary data, you make a statement. Here is problem discovery. Here you make a statement. You make a statement now. This is another thing. Students write 4 or 5 pages of problem statement. But after reading the 4 pages, I still don't read where the problem is. This is very common among students. They just write like storytelling. They write storytelling. Online banking is been introduced in this country in 1970s. Many people are using online banking. Almost all the banks are giving online banking. People are using online banking for transaction, for this, for that, for this, for that. Then they stop. So what's the problem? What is the problem? Online banking. So that's why I put the word statement. You must have the last sentence as a statement. The last sentence must be a statement. How do you write a statement? So you write a statement by saying, hence, therefore, despite the online banking being introduced to the market 20 years ago, yet you find the people, the number of users of online banking is not meeting the objective of the banks. Of today, there are only 50% of users are using online banking. Hence, there is a serious need to understand or to investigate why online banking is not well accepted among the customers. Now, this statement is important. This statement is missing in students. They write 4 pages, but the last sentence they don't write. So how to know? So that's why we call it as statement. Okay, now after they write the problem statement, the next one is a research objective and research question. These also students make mistake. They don't want to write question. Sometimes they write objective, they don't write question. Sometimes they write question, they don't write the objective. So it should be there. First is the objective, then the question. Then also students make mistake. They write question and then they write the objective. So you must follow the system. Problem statement, research objective, research question. So that is the flow. And then what method are you going to use? I told you just now, there are 3 approaches. So you choose what method and then you need to determine how you're going to collect the data. Okay, this is a very high level process. Now let's look at the details of it, the process. The details of the process is, of course, this you will learn later part. We will take you through later part. Okay, you know already how to collect data different. This is again, student gets stuck. Student gets stuck. Simple things. In my experience, I've seen students getting stuck. Like for example, their data they want to collect. They collect ordinal and nominal data, and then they go and do standard deviation and regression. No. How to do? How to do average male and female? You have male, 10 male, 15 female. So can you say the mean is 10 and 15? So what? 25. So can you put a 12.5 as the mean? So you cannot. So this is where we need to help the student to understand. If you have nominal data, you have ordinal data, you just do descriptive analysis. You don't do inferential statistics with that. Students really, I see in my experience, they do all kind of this kind of mistakes. And supervisors just ignore that. It's not that the supervisor don't know. The supervisor know, but the supervisor never go into the detail to study.
Yes, but if they want to see the differences between groups.
If it's in the objective,
yes.
if it's in the research objective says, I want to study the differences of behavior of the male versus the female towards online banking, then they do a t-test.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. But not taking the data, you know, and then putting out a mean. That is wrong.
Does it work if they can change into dummy and then they record that between 0 and 1, so they want to see the dummy variable?
Okay, that's okay.
So
that is okay. That is okay. Under the dummy variables they put in there, that's okay. But they shouldn't be plotting a mean, average, and all. So later part, I will go into some details to show you precisely, you know, for ordinal data, this is the type you need to do. Nominal, this is the type. Interval, this is what we need to do. You know? So then you will really know that when you supervise students. Don't ask them to do extra thing which is going to kill them later. Just do what is required. Enough. Okay? Right? So then the sampling design, the sampling frame. Sampling frame. Where some students put in the topic, the title they put, student satisfaction in higher education in Vietnam. Wow, sounds so nice. But do you have the sampling frame for Vietnam?
Oh, so large.
So large.
Over 90 million people.
Yeah. How are you going to collect data like that? Huh? Sometimes I see, wow.
Some years to check that.
It will take you 10 years to do the study. Okay, so you need to understand the sample design, how you're going to put it. Okay, and then the other one, students always make mistake is the sampling. They say, oh, we will do random sampling. Oh, convenient sampling. For a PhD student, convenient sampling shows that the student is lazy. Yeah. So please avoid that.
We need criteria to choose.
Yeah. Avoid that word. Convenient. Avoid it. Students should be doing a sampling method that is accepted for a PhD level. They cannot be doing sampling that is convenient, randomly picking. No. There should be a technique how to choose what is the right sample method to be used. Okay, this also I'll take you through. I'll tell you what is the right method for what. It all goes back to your research objective. What is your objective of the study? Based on the objective, you set the sampling technique. It's not that what you like to do, you want to do. Okay. Then you go through the state collection of data, editing and coding. I told you today we all go through a tough time in SPSS. Today I see the software PLS is so easy, so nice, and you know, no need to go through coding, decoding, all these things done. You don't need to go look for a statistician for that. You can do it by yourself. Processing, analysis, interpretation, finding reports. So roughly this is how the whole flow goes. This is how the flow goes from here and then continue here. Basically this. So as a supervisor, you need to make sure that at every point, you don't have time to read the 400 pages of your student, the 300 pages of your student, but at least you read through the critical areas. Read through the critical areas. These are important. Because when they go for the examination, this is where they are going to be tested. Because the examiner is not going to challenge the student's discovery. That is the student's work. They won't challenge what the student collected, the data, discovered, no. But they can only challenge you on the process. If you go and collect data and you say, I only collected data and this is what I found, the examiner cannot challenge you on what you found. But the examiner can challenge you on the process, the steps that you've taken. That means a lot. Whether the process, the step that you take is correct, yes or not. That's where students get stuck. Now you can see in PhD Viva, we don't question the student on the outcome they collect, but we challenge them on the process, the steps that they've applied. Okay.
Sorry, Dr. Pen, can you come to that? Can you explain more in detail probability sampling and non-probability sampling?
I'll take you through later. In the chapter 3, I will explain, I will give you a video, I'll run through a video for you and explain to you. Not only this, I will also explain to you the, what you call the scales, okay, the variables. The nominal, what is ordinal, what is interval, what is ratio, I explain to you. And then I will teach you the sampling technique one by one to make you understand. And then later I can even give you the video clip so that you can use the video clip for your students. Okay, I'll give you the video clip, you can use it for students. Okay? Now, the choice of topic. I'm sure you all have experience of changing the topics many times. Keep changing the topic, change the topic, changing the topic. This is common, very common. Very common. Very common. And don't worry, when you go for, when you take your students for Viva and then the examiner asks to change the topic, just say, okay, I will consider what you said. Don't say, I'll change. Consider. Yeah. Because you are the researcher. You should be in control, not the examiner. The examiner won't tell you, you must change. No. They will tell you, please consider to revise your topic. That's what the examiner will say. The examiner won't say, you need to change your topic. That is wrong. The examiner won't say that. Huh? Okay? So, normally topic, the choice of topic, depending on the student, what type of topic they're going to work. Some students like to take novel type of topic. Novel type of topic is like, research topic that researcher focus on which has not been investigated before. This is, seriously very difficult. Very difficult. Not been investigated before. In the event that the problem has been studied before, he has to inject originality. Do you think you are ready to supervise a student for that? Please be careful. Like Rainey and Kim Chan, they came up with a blue ocean strategy. Yeah? Totally new, right? So that's what we call novelty. Something new. People have not studied. Like Good to Great by Jim Collins. He studied for 15 years. Then he came out with something new. Good to Great. So that is novelty. So for PhD purpose, I strongly discourage this. Don't go for this. It is tough to work on that. You as a supervisor is difficult, and your students also sometimes get frustrated while working on this. Now the second choice is interesting, the topic that is interesting. That is to the interest of the researcher. This is good. I encourage you to work on your student on this. A topic that is of the interest of the student. The student is a business student and you ask him to do on engineering. So that is going to be tough. Yeah. So the second one is the best. It is all based on the student's interest. Student likes the topic very much. Please don't go and kill the student. Say change your topic. Yeah? If the student like the topic, work on the student's topic. Maybe you need to technically get it right, change a few words here and there. That's fine. Okay, but this is the most safest one for students to study. A topic that is of students' interest. Is relevant. For example, if your student is working in a government agency or the student is working for some professional body, then it's good to choose a topic that is relevant to the career. Relevant to the career. So you can also get students to work on this, okay? But this relevant to career may not be of the interest of the student, but for the career, yes. Or maybe because the student choose this topic, he or she can get a research grant. So that is relevant. Something that's relevant can go for a research grant. Okay. The other one is feasible. Choose a topic that is feasible. That means that is doable. Okay. That is, a research can be conducted, data can be collected. Don't conduct a research where after writing chapter 1, after writing chapter 2, chapter 3, cannot collect data because confidential, they don't want to give information. Especially if you're talking about government policy. You cannot collect data. They're not going to share with you. And you get stuck. So please don't go into this. Okay? Do something that is feasible, that is doable. Okay? Like for example, is this topic too broad? The effect of TV violence on children? Can the problem be really investigated? So you can ask all these questions. Sometimes the student wants to do a research on a lot of money being involved, and you don't have a grant to support the student. Please don't do that kind of research. Okay? So those are the areas of choice of research. Any questions so far? No question, then what we do, we'll take a break for lunch, okay? And we resume back at 1:45. Okay? And for those of you who wants to have a short nap and all, you know, you can have it. There's a nice sitting there in the hall there. You know, you saw there's a hall, right? When you walk to the washroom, right? There's some sofa, you can sit down there, you know, you can rest there for a while. Okay? And I think lunch will be served somewhere here. Nurul and Edmund will come and help you out. Okay? Let's take a break for lunch. Okay?
Một giờ 45 em mới lại. Các bạn hỏi coi là để máy móc hỏi một cái tập đâu thì phải mất đó. Đã nói rồi lúc đầu cho nó nói rồi. Nhưng mà sai cũng được vài tháng thôi. Tháng ơi. Thôi rồi tháng ơi. Tháng không tháng sau độ yên ra cái là sao được không cái đó là cái iOS mà một cái theo nó Đấy, nếu mà truyền hình trực tiếp là phải đứng như này và chúng ta thư giãn. Vậy.
Ở đây một người mình mời thầy dưới một ly.
Ở đây nó quay hết, xong rồi nó rót cắt lên.
Nhưng mà rất hư phim ta là
Đứng chụp ngang gì cũng tại mấy tấm này.
chỉ công an không phải bỏ luôn mà
Không biết mà nói gì.
Nè, nè, nè.
Behalf of our group of DNT preachers.
Ok. Rồi ok là chụp anh. Xử ai?
Dưới đây.
Quay cái đường nhé.
Mấy tấm.
Rồi tấm chuẩn.
không phải là cái mà
Cái này là áp
Tấm mà hả?
Đúng rồi. Anh quay là gì?
Không quay chụp, đừng quay chụp thôi.
cái slide đầu á, cái slide đầu á.
Được. And we will share with the experts or the guru, Dr. Professor Kumar, about the process of how to supervise the BNT.
Okay, that's enough for you. Quá sâu.
Nhiều đi, cái bắt đầu nó bỏ.
Hôm nay là anh wow cái wow mấy cái ta phải bỏ câu hỏi anh nói đừng nói.
Lúc đầu á thầy vô thì giảng sung á, sau theo quen thì
Đây trong đầu
cái sung này
đây cái thuật là phương pháp để nắm bắt đấy nhé. Ai có bạn nắm mấy người nắm bắt mấy cái thuật mới
Bữa nào kiếm cớ đi tỉnh đi Đà Nẵng ấy, xong rồi em tổ chức workshop về cái
VLC anh đi để việc ta sẽ làm một cái BOS.
Tí nữa bây giờ nó ngồi với bạn nhỏ lại lặng quá
Em ngồi với bao nhiêu người cái bên
Tiên với lại Tiên nó cố tình là công an nó vét đi để làm cái hành động đèo ấy.
mình đi về
chơi cái này.
Đây về nghỉ ngơi cái tội gì này ở đây
đi có 5 phút à.
anh xong về nghỉ ngơi
Ăn ơi, nghỉ ngơi.
Đây còn không phải ngồi nghỉ chút đi.
về nghỉ ngơi
Có rồi đó, phải được ra.
Chưa lên dọn mà.
Cứ bình tĩnh, các giáo sư cứ bình tĩnh.
Không phải mà phải
ông nhưng mà chữ nó sẽ ngược chữ nó ngược á.
chụp không thấy gì luôn.
Đây